Hey friends, welcome. Thank you for joining me here. Today I have a gentle morning practice to share with you. If you're like me and you like to take your mornings slow, I invite you to try this practice with me. And so to begin with, we will take a moment to just drop in and settle in and get ready for our day. And so find a comfortable seat, whatever that means in your body. So you can sit on the ground, cross-legged. You can extend your legs forward. You can sit on a chair. You can sit up on a block or a blanket or something under your hips to lift your hips off the ground and above your knees. Lots of options to make a seated pose comfortable in your body. When you get there, I invite you to bring your left hand to your heart space and your right hand to your low belly. Roll your shoulders back, tuck your chin just slightly, and sit up as straight as feels good in your body right now. If you're a little tired, be gentle with yourself. And if it feels good, go ahead and close down your eyes. Just begin to feel the breath in your body and feel the breath against the hands. So you'll feel the hands lift as you inhale and fall as you exhale. And as best you can, begin to bring all of your awareness to this sensation. Just bringing in fresh oxygen for the day, getting the body prepped and ready, getting the mind prepped and ready. Our morning practice is so important and can be such a great way to set the stage for the day. It can help us move mindfully throughout our day, stay present. It's also a great way, our morning practice, to help us welcome the day, honor it, use it as a way to welcome a fresh start with gratitude and reverence. Take these last few breaths just to check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, do a quick body scan, a quick mind scan, and just notice if you're feeling anything, whatever comes up. And I invite you to be gentle with whatever you notice. When you're ready, take your last exhale here and remove your hands. And gently, however you'd like, we're going to find our way down onto our backs. So when you get there, go ahead and lay down as gently as you can. And this is where we started in the morning, right? In our bed. So probably where we want to go back to. Extend your legs long in one direction and arms up overhead and take a full body stretch, just like you just woke up, just like you just got out of bed. Stretching in both directions, stretching long, taking some big inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the ground, the knees towards the sky. They can be in line with the hips or out. Your feet can be a little bit wider. And go ahead and cactus the arms on each side of the body. Now, if your shoulders feel a little tight from sleeping, be gentle here and let your body slowly awaken. If you need, you can bring your arms a little bit closer to your body or out to the side. Whichever feels good here, you choose. And so here, just let your spine follow the line of the earth. Allow any of those creaks and cracks to kind of leave your body. letting your spine elongate, continuing those deep inhales and exhales, and just letting your body kind of gently begin to awaken. We're being really gentle with ourselves here. And when you're ready, go ahead and begin to walk your feet out to each edge of the mat, sides of the mat. So we're widening our feet here, keeping the arms where they are, and just begin to gently drop each knee side to side. So just windshield wipering the legs here. So the knees will go to the right to begin with, and then to the left. Remembering to move slowly here. So even though our tendency in our society is to wake up and start running around and kind of being frantic, that brings some heavy energy to our days sometimes and makes us feel frazzled. And so I invite you to slow down here and just really explore where in your body you're feeling it. If your mind is wandering, focusing on your breath here and whatever feels good for you. When you're ready, bring your knees back towards center, and we're going to bring them up towards the chest. They don't need to touch anything. They just need to come in that direction. You can bring the hands to the back of the thighs. If you need a little bit more space or to lengthen the arms, you can bring a strap into your hands and strap it around the back of the thighs as well. An option to widen the knees just gently to make room for the belly or the body. When you're ready, we're going to just rock side to side, really pressing that low back into the mat. Continuing some deep inhales and exhales, bringing in that oxygen for the day. And begin to rock so far each side to side that you fall to the left. When you get there, go ahead and open your right arm out to the side. Now, if your shoulders are tight here, bring a block underneath your arm or a pillow. Something to lift your shoulders so that you still get a stretch there, but you're not wrangling your body and doing something that doesn't feel good. Option to open the chest towards the sky here and the gaze over the right shoulder. Again, in your neck, if that doesn't feel good, you can turn your gaze to the sky. And just take a moment here to rest in this twist. Option to close the eyes down or soften them, whichever feels best. Or you can choose a spot for them to land on. Releasing your last exhale here, go ahead and turn yourself towards the left, and we're going to reach our right arm up above our body and overhead. You can let the arm rest against the ear. And we're kind of taking a reclined side body stretch here. And so this can feel really good in the morning if we're wakening our bodies up, just getting them moving a little bit. Taking some deep inhales and exhales. And on every exhale, think about releasing the body into the mat, into the earth. Take one more breath cycle here, inhaling. And on your exhale, we'll pull that right arm down and roll back towards center, bringing those knees towards the chest again, rocking side to side. You can bring the feet together or cross them over, whichever feels good here. Begin to rock side to side again, pressing that low back into the mat, really elongating that spine. And then begin to rock so much each side to side that you fall to the right this time. So we'll take it to the other side. That left arm, if it's available in your body, will open up, opening that chest and heart and vision towards the sky. If that's a little intense for you this morning, option to bring a block or pillow underneath that left arm just to lift it up slightly, reducing that angle, giving your body a little bit more love and gentleness. Coming to your breath, choosing a spot for your eyes. noticing where in your body you feel this stretch. So you're going to feel it in different places based on where your body is today. We can take this moment to allow our bodies to be wherever they are, allowing them to be different, not just every day, sometimes every moment. And that's why it's good to check in with ourselves and ask ourselves, what do we need right now? Release your last exhale here. And on your inhale, begin to lift your left arm, turning your torso towards the right and lifting the left arm up and across the body overhead. You can tent the fingers overhead. You can bring them to a block or the earth, whichever feels best here. And just take a reclined side body twist here, side body stretch. Really allowing the length from the left hip all the way up to the tips of the fingers. You can do whatever you like with your right arm. You can keep it cactused, out 45-degree angle. You can bring it to that left knee, whichever feels good here. When you're ready, go ahead and use that left hand, bringing it down, and press yourself up. We're going to come up to seated. Make your way onto your hands and knees, however you'd like to get there. It doesn't need to be graceful, you just need to find your way there, but I do invite you to move slowly. Again, our tendency is sort of to move like a checklist, A to Z, start to finish, but kind of slowing down and really being mindful of each movement can help us slow down and be mindful throughout our days. So when you get here, go ahead and bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, if that feels good. Option to take up more space if you'd like. And just begin to take some cat-cows. So we'll arch the spine, bringing the gaze up towards the sky, hips up towards the sky. Exhaling all the air out, tipping the hips forward, chin comes towards the chest. Continuing on your own to move with your own breath. So let the breath be the guide here. Taking the whole inhale and the entire exhale to get where you're going. So again, that in-between space, not A to Z, not a checklist, I've done this. It's really the in-between, the exploration part that we're after. Now, option here to add on, if you'd like, you can continue your cat-cowing, or you can walk your hands forward and start some rolling cat-cows. So you can arch the back here, inhaling, and then exhale, bring the hips towards the heels, bringing the arms, reaching the hands in the opposite direction, extending the spine long. The head will come towards the ground. It doesn't need to touch. As we inhale, we're going to come forward, shoulders over the wrists, arching the back. Exhaling, rolling hips back towards heels. Inhaling, coming forward again, taking the whole inhale to get where you're going. Whole exhale to get to the other side. Another add-on here as you come forward, inhaling. You can come up onto the knees and let the toes point towards the sky, kind of arching the back, a little grounded up dog here. Exhaling, hips towards the heels. A few more times here. You choose what you want to do here. If you want to do something else, do that too. Do what feels good in your body. Continuing on your own. The next time your hips come back towards your heels, leave them there. Option to widen the knees to make room for the body. Be kind to yourself and bring the head towards the ground, a block, a pillow. Option to leave the arms forward if that feels good and bring the head to the ground. Now here, with the arms extended, we're going to turn our palms up towards the sky. This is a gesture of being completely open, giving and receiving, honoring our day with reverence and respect and gratitude. Being open to whatever the day brings. Allowing whatever comes up. Practicing acceptance and compassion. And just being kind to ourselves and others. Taking a few moments here to allow not only the body to open, but the mind, the energetic body. And on your next inhale, flip those palms over. We're going to lift ourselves up and take some hip circles. So if your knees aren't as wide as your yoga mat, go ahead and widen them there and bring the toes together. And we're going to begin to bring the hips to the right, back towards the heels, and then to the left and forward. So we'll start clockwise here, going towards the right, to the left and forward. If you're like me, sometimes you forget which side is which. Just start in one direction, and then on the other side we'll switch. It doesn't matter. Just moving again mindfully here, moving with the breath. And if it feels good, you can switch directions now. Whichever direction you were going in, choose the other one. Really getting in here, you can articulate the spine here, kind of pressing in each shoulder, arching the back as you come back, rolling the head down, really getting lots of movement in each vertebrae. Next time your hips come back towards your heels, leave them there and lift both hands off one side of the mat. You choose, so left or right. Bringing the head and the torso and the body towards the ground. Again, doesn't need to touch. If you need a little love here, put a pillow or a blanket or a bolster under your body. Help lift the ground up to you. This isn't about molding our bodies to the pose. It's more about molding the pose to our bodies. And so really being gentle here and doing what we need. I'm laying my head on my arm here just to make it a little bit more restorative and gentle. Coming to the breath, allowing this nice side body stretch here to open up that right side body. Staying here for as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to move on, you can lift your torso up gently and make your way towards the other side. Whichever side is opposite of the one you were just on. Again, option to lay the head against that arm or onto the ground. Pillow, blanket, bolster, something cozy underneath the body to lift it up if that feels good. Coming to your breath here. If you find your mind wandering and wondering what's coming next or what's going to happen with your day, come back to your breath, come back to the sensations in your body. Come back to reminding yourself that this is your time to get ready for your day. Take one last breath cycle here, inhaling and exhaling. And on your inhale, slowly begin to move towards center. We'll come into tabletop. We're going to take a down dog just to kind of wring out the body a little bit more. If you know where you're going, go ahead and go there and kind of explore the pose however you want today. We'll come into tabletop, but our hands will be forward a little bit more than our shoulders. So a little bit of an angle here. We're going to tuck the toes under and we'll press into our hands and our feet and lift our hips up towards the sky. Now we want to press back, bending the knees to make sure that we can get some length in those hamstrings. Before we bring the heels towards the ground, they don't need to touch. Okay, if they do, great. If they don't, great. Wherever your body is, slight bend in the elbows, really pressing into all corners of the hands here. No option to stay here and explore, or you can take your dog for a walk. You can bend in one knee and then the other. This feels really good on the feet, getting those feet woken up for the day. You can stay still with your feet and rock your hips side to side. So a couple options here. You can take a three-legged dog. You can open the hip up, keeping the shoulders stacked in line with the front corners of the mat, so straight. So a couple options here. You take a few moments to explore. What do you need today? What does your body need here? And when you're ready, take a deep inhale, and exhale. We'll bring our knees towards the earth, and we'll come back towards seated here. Gently, again, moving mindfully, slowly. And come to the side of your mat or forward, whichever you choose, and we'll just extend our feet out long in front of us. Now, how wide the angle is does not matter, just that your legs go in that direction. Pick up any fleshy part of your body and move it out of the way so that your sit bones can sit firmly into the earth. Option 2, bring a block or blanket underneath your hips to just lift your hips up above your knees. We'll keep our hands on our legs here just as a little bit of leverage, and we're going to just take some torso circles here. So similar to when we were on our hands and knees, but this time we're just going to move our torso. So you can begin leaning forward, hinging at the hips, keeping a straight spine, and we'll just bring our torso to the right, back, around to the side, and forward. Now you'll notice as you do this, your legs are naturally going to move and bend at the knee. Okay, let that happen. Let your body give you the leverage that it needs to do this pose. You can switch directions at any time. Again, just choosing the opposite one, doesn't matter which side you start on. You can take little half circles forward or half circles back. So as you begin to explore the question, what do I need right now? And you give yourself space to answer, you'll find the answer. So a lot of people, when they begin to move their bodies, aren't used to kind of letting it do what it needs or not being sure what it needs. And this is exactly the way that it starts. So I give you lots of options. You get to choose. And so in your own home practice, if you have one, you can start to make those decisions on your own. When you're ready, come back towards center. We're going to tuck that left foot in towards the body. So now, if you have any issues with your knees, I invite you to keep that angle between the thigh and the calf a little bit wider so that your knee can have a little bit of room. So tuck your foot in as close as you can to the body, whichever that means for you. We kind of want it to be aligned with that left hip crease, and our right foot will stay out here. We're gently going to turn our torso. You might need to pick your hips up a little bit, but we're going to turn our torso towards our right foot. We're going to come into Janu Sirsasana. So this pose is whatever feels good in your body. So it's a forward fold, but it's also a twist. Okay, so you can stay here if that feels good, just twisting towards that right leg. You can lift your arms up to the sky just to help us lengthen our torso. And we can hinge at the hips, leading with the heart, bow forward over that right leg. Your hands can fall wherever they may. They can come on the outside of the leg. They can come to your toes. They can come to your shin. And your head and body can come towards your leg. Now, again, doesn't need to touch. Just needs to go in that direction. So if you're here, it's still the same as if your whole torso is laid over your leg and your forehead can touch it, right? Same pose in the body. It just looks a little different. What it feels like is more important. Okay. Now, if your body is kind of pressing into the top of your thigh, just go ahead and pick it up and move it over and make a little room for yourself. And stay here, just feeling that twist, maybe in the low back or the side. Feeling that leg getting some extension and that hamstring even around the knee or back of the calf. One of my favorite poses, Janu Sirsasana. Head to knee pose. Again, doesn't need to touch, just needs to go in that direction. Taking a few more breath cycles here, remembering our breath. On your next inhale, walk those hands back wherever they are from, lifting the torso gently. And we're going to take it to the other side. So extending that left leg as far out to the side as you'd like, tucking that right foot in, remembering to extend that angle on your right knee if you'd like. Sole of that foot tucks into that right hip crease. If your hips are tight, your knee will be a little bit off the ground. Okay, that's okay. Just let your leg, it's here. As long as you're not feeling any pain, let your body be where it is. We're going to turn our attention and our awareness and our torso towards that left leg. If you want to stay here and ground yourself, rolling your shoulders, that's great. If you want to lift your arms up towards the sky, bowing forward, leading with the heart, and let your body fall where it may. Now you might want to put something underneath that left knee, letting it bend. Again, allowing our body to go where it needs to make room for the pose. If you want to move your body out of the way so you can fold forward deeper, go ahead and do that. And find your way into your pose. Taking a few breaths here. Again, staying as present as possible. What are the sensations in your body? What are what's happening in your mind? Are you present? Can you be present in the space? What's happening around you? When you're ready, we'll take an inhale and walk our hands back towards center, lifting the torso. We're going to bring both soles of the feet in this time towards one another, taking a Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Again, you can stay here. You can stack blocks under your knees, or you can fold forward. So again, always leading with the heart. Flat back as possible, and we bow. Hands can come to the feet or the ground, and only go as far forward as you'd like. So I notice my body tends to be a little stiff in the morning, not able to go as deeply into poses because I haven't moved yet for the day. And so that's an invitation when I check in to myself to be gentle, not to try and force myself into a pose, but just allow it to be, allow my body to be where it is. When you're ready, you can walk yourself or lift yourself back up towards center. Now I invite you from here as we end our practice to come into a Shavasana, or you can come into a short meditation, whichever feels best for you. I always like to end my morning with a nice meditation just to kind of get myself really present, really focused, really kind of cleared out and ready for the day, and just to be with myself, just to take some time to, again, welcome the morning, pay some reverence, honor, gratitude for the day, make some space, and so that you can wander out and be fully yourself and fully aware and present in your life. I hope this practice helped. Thank you again so much for joining me. May you be well.